before letting the floor to my colleagues who are really specialized in monitoring tools and data systems, I would like to explain in a couple of slides how we are working on these tools and methods. So first of all, we are considering a very broad range of tools. And when we say tools, we refer to any methodological approach or process or technological solution or instrument that can help the decision maker or the actor having a part in the design and implementation of the strategic plans in making and in carrying out the different activities that are required. Okay, so we have categorized the tools depending on their main uses. This was not really an easy task because these tools are very interlinked between them. So we have tools for the stakeholder needs assessment, tools for the policies supporting the policy choices, tools for the policy analysis, and tools for the monitoring and data collection. But the important aspect of our approach is that anytime we approach the tool, either for analysis or for any other activity, we approach them in terms of policy tasks for which they are useful. So we have a policy-oriented approach. We always think about the task for which these tools are useful. In this figure, you see, for example, based on what has been done by member states in so far, how the different types of tools have been used in a number of policy tasks. These are key policy tasks required by the current regulation of the CAP. In green, these are the key tasks, policy tasks of the design of the strategic plans. So you see, for example, SWOT analysis, needs assessments, target setting. You may recall some of these activities that were carried out a couple of years ago by all member states. And also implementation monitoring tasks. Sorry. Yeah, such as the performance review, checking beneficiaries' compliance, and evaluation. Another aspect to consider in our approach is that we do not study these tools in isolation. We are well aware that they are interlinked. One type of tool informs the other. They are used together in combination to conduct different tasks. So therefore, the tools on which we will focus today, monitoring and data collection tools, are actually very interlinked to other tools. We know, for example, how stakeholder consultation tools are used to complement data gaps from data collection systems, or how data collection systems are key for policy analysis tools like models, for example. No? And all of these interaction, of course, these tools are used to support the CAP strategic plans in terms of compliance and performance and design. One key aspect of our project is that we set up our activities thinking of what the Commission and especially the member states will have to do in the coming years or during the current implementation of the current strategic plans. So you see here the timeline with some of the key activities required by Commission and member states, required by regulation for Commission and member states. So you see, for example, and you know, I think many of you very well that now we talk about the annual performance report. Probably many of you are working on it, and these are the key activities on which we are focusing now. But the next year will come for the Commission the task of reviewing all these reports and meeting the member states and making an interim evaluation, a first interim evaluation. And there will be other activities in 2027 and also after. In parallel to this timeline, you see some or the key outcomes of our project and that were thought to be released in relation or in parallel to some of these key steps to support end users, maybe in conducting the different activities. So for example, you see that by now we have delivered this inventory of method and tools with an assessment of their strengths and weaknesses, and provided also some methodological guidelines on the use, practical and technical use of different tools that could already be uptaken by the end users to conduct some of their activities. And to support the future activities, future performance review, but also the new activities that will come for the design of the next generation strategic plans. We will make a demonstration test of some tools to demonstrate how these tools can be used, how these tools can be useful. And we will provide a handbook of guidance for end users to choose between different tools. So this is to explain how our outcomes are meant to support end user along the way, basically. Just a last reference on the core framework of the regulations defining the performance monitoring evaluation framework. I think you know it quite well. Just for you to know that this is the basis of our work. We look at the specific legal requirements and activities that end users have to conduct, and we frame our work around these elements.
Adding to what Daniel presented, I'm going to explain how the work we do in work package 4 of Tools4CAP project has to do with specific activities and specific steps of the CAP strategic plan design. So work package 4 focuses on digitalization and integration into interoperability of the new data and technologies available. That's why in the work we perform, we try to identify existing technologies and existing on-farm solutions that can offer efficiently and accurate data on agricultural practices at the parcel level. So those data collected at the farm level can be then used to assist compliance and performance policy tasks within the CAP framework. Of course, those we try to not only focus on those technologies as a literature review, but also to elaborate on the potential those data sources have in also assisting data knowledge tasks and policy evaluation. So not only assisting in performance calculation of indicators in the annual performance report, but also try to, as the new PMEF shifts the policy focus towards performance and evaluation, we will try to give a view of combining existing in situ data sources with other types of data and statistical databases and different initiatives that can offer additional value to you, essentially, to the stakeholders. So that's why we made them we try to separate somehow the technology part and the technology aspects and the policy aspects of our work. We identified that the new data acquisition technologies at farm level are already integrated at various levels depending on the member states on the regular operations of the farms, and of course could be utilized for CAP strategic plan monitoring and evaluation. We identified some challenges where, for example, when data acquired on farm are used out of the farm, there are data sharing challenges, privacy, ownership, GDPR issues that legislation is currently working on integrating them and somehow allow allow them in a more efficient way. A lack of standard data models become main challenges, because interoperability is not always optimal. We can see that from a technology aspect, this is the main issue, the data sharing and the interoperability between different data sources, both external but also internal to your organizations. That's why we can see in the policy aspects that through the aggregation, spatially and temporally, of those data, there needs to be a link always with statistical databases, for example, Ajax system, or administrative databases. This is mainly to collect data for interventions, which might differ from member state to member state. So there needs to be somehow a customized approach, a custom approach, also depending on the interventions, and also how those data can be reused for not only compliance with and cross-checks, but also for evaluation, since this policy shift goes towards the evaluation part, calculating environmental and social aspects, or maybe sustainability indicators. Then we can see that the integration of different data sources are critical, and this is a way that it's every organization has to move on, and also regarding social aspects, which are the most challenging to measure, let's say. So the work we have already performed in deliverable 4.1 can assist you in this way, because we have linked various technologies already existing, and we have listed what type of data this technology has to offer to you, and those data, how those data can be used on specific interventions. So we link technologies with interventions. So this can be used as a guideline, let's say, depending on the interventions, to have a better picture of the available data sources and available options a member state can have to perform or to design better methods and better design the steps of the CAP strategic plan design better. Of course, we have done this also to external data initiatives. So we can see that depending on the intervention, there are already available data sets out there, even open data sets, regarding, for example, biodiversity, regarding soil, regarding land cover, and other environmental indexes. So we offer this link to related interventions as a first, let's say, guideline towards this new monitoring framework. In detail, I already mentioned that in deliverable 4.1, we have this, you can find this link of technologies with interventions. You can see the review of the inventory of the monitoring tools Danielle mentioned earlier, and some data requirements that are mandatory to have for monitoring interventions. In deliverable 4.2, you can see current CAP data needs and some existing tools regarding social media analytics. Essentially, part of the deliverable is interoperability considerations, because this is the main issue we identified, and also the potential of the initiatives already out there offering data for monitoring interventions. In the breakout rooms, as we understood, we will focus on mostly monitoring and evaluation parts of the CAP strategic plan, and with detailing data acquisition technologies and how those can be of use in creating, for example, the annual performance report, or performing cross-checks for compliance, or creating additional value to identify and to connect in situ measurements with actual impacts on the ground and I mean this in the evaluation part. So in the breakout room number 1, you can see Alberto Gutierrez from ITASI, who will present new data collecting technologies at farm level that support the design of a future CAP intervention. Participants from the Spanish Agrarian Guarantee Fund will participate. In the breakout room number 2, I will be there, and we will discuss about agricultural information systems and how data deriving from those systems can help beyond farm monitoring and towards a regional monitoring approach. And in the breakout room number 3, Christian Cinco from Abaco will present the area monitoring system for CAP strategic plan. So thank you, and see you in breakout rooms.